Read Global Truth.
I am a direct product of my husband. He shaped, he molded me, and he cultivated me with his hands. He spent day after day training me up to be the woman I am today, a wife. And because of my willingness and I submitted to his teachings, to his way of life, I am the woman I am today. And a lot of women will find offense to that because the man that they are with, they could never imagine submitting to his frame of thinking. But everything my man is, the way he thinks, the way he moves, the way he articulates, I am so proud to be trained up and cultivated to be a product of him. I strive to be the wife where my husband doesn't even need to be in the room and you know what type of husband I have. The wisdom I have, what I preach on my social media platforms was all directly due to the husband I had. I had a phenomenal teacher. You're honestly a direct result of whoever you're with. A woman said, I have a very relaxed nervous system. Yes, that should tell you what type of man I have. And honestly, you're not mad at me. If you find any offense to that, you're with a man or have been with men that they do not have the ability to mold and shape you to be the best version of yourself. And then men should be proud of who they are and be at a place in their life where they can pour that onto their woman and she evolves and becomes the best version of herself.
Proverbs 12:4. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband, and she that maketh ashamed is as rottenness to his bones. What's going on, brothers and sisters? It's your brother New Breed coming back with another live stream. What every woman needs to know if she desires to have a good man, a righteous brother. Now, number one, submission. That's right. I know what the young lady was speaking of sounded foreign to some of y'all out there. But what she was bringing out is nothing but facts. You have to want to submit. You have to want to be molded. See, even when the Most High molds us in his image, when there's resistance, there's disconfiguration. If you're over there at a molding center and you're sculpting, you're making a sculpture, and somehow that mold, that clay has all kind of lumps, bumps, and you sitting there trying to mold you a sculpture, and the clay is giving you nothing but resistance. I mean, it's building up rocks and it's hitting your hand at every corner. And what do you think it's going to look like at the end? It ain't going to look too good. It's going to be disfigured. See, the willingness to be molded is key if you want a good man. You must understand a good man is going to require some sort of change out of you. You want that masculinity, but some of you ladies don't want to change. You want that masculinity around you. But when that man usurps that type of authority, you don't know how to respond to it. Well, that woman, she truly defined what it means to be submissive. Yep. And let's see. Rexstar says it'll be bumpy and lumpy if it's resistance, right? That's real talk. Now, if you're in the hands of a good man and he's molding you, how are you going to come out at the end of that sculpture? You're going to be refined. You're going to be perfect. You're going to be right where you need to be. Now, it's going to take some more work now. It's going to take some more work. And we're going to break down what she had to say. I'm going to make this a quick one because we got a lot to discuss tonight. But Let's just go back to what she had to say and kind of break this down. Let's go.
I am a direct product of my husband. He shaped, he molded me, and he cultivated me with his hands. He spent day after day training me up to be the woman I am today, a wife. And because of my willingness and I submitted to his teachings, to his way of life, I am the woman I am today.
Because of her willingness, because she submitted to the will of her husband. She is happy. She is ecstatic to be the woman that she is today. Man, the Bible speaks so candidly about the virtuous woman, the righteous woman. And I know her husband is very pleased with this woman. Proverbs 31:11 says, the heart of her husband doeth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. That's right. That's what you want, ladies. You want your husband to securely trust in you, even when he is not present. Why? Because you showed your willingness to be taught and led.
And a lot of women will find offense to that because the man that they are with, they could never imagine submitting to his frame of thinking.
And a lot of women also will find offense to that because they refuse to submit. They refuse to humble themselves. They have bought into the gynocentric matriarchal society, and they don't want to bend to a man. They have been taught feminism. So that's the reason why a lot of women will be upset, will be offended with what this woman is saying. But she's just speaking the truth. That's if you desire to have a good man. If you don't, it is what it is. But let's continue.
But everything my man is, the way he thinks, the way he moves, the way he articulates, I am so proud to be trained up and cultivated to be a product of him. I strive to be the wife where my husband doesn't even need to be in the room, and you know what type of husband I have. The wisdom I have, what I preach on my social media platforms was all directly due to the husband I have.
And that's exactly how it should be. She's giving credit and giving esteem to her head. In the book of Corinthians, it tells you the head of the woman is the man. The head of the children is the woman. The head of the man is Christ. The head of Christ is the Most High. She has submitted to her headship. Now, it's not always easy, but a lot of you ladies got to understand it's not a man's job to make you submit. That defeats the purpose of submission. You have to choose to submit. You cannot force somebody to submit. That is an oxymoron. That is something that is impossible, right? Anyway, let's continue.
I had a phenomenal teacher. You're honestly a direct result of whoever you're with. A woman said, I have a very relaxed nervous system. Yes, that should tell you what type of man I have. And honestly, you're not mad at me. If you find any offense to that, you're with a man or have been with men that they do not have the ability to mold and shape you to be the best version of yourself. And then men should be proud of who they are and be at a place in their life where they can pour.
And I'm going to also, give her a little bit of pushback because it's a woman's decision to want to submit. And it ain't always easy, ladies. Every man is not perfect out here. The Tyler Perry movies want you to believe that it's supposed to be this fairy tale ending. And you're supposed to ride off into the sunset with the man you meet. And a lot of ladies haven't put in the work to make sure that she acted as help to actually help him build a future, support him in every endeavor. A lot of women want it all handed to them, but they didn't put in no work. Now, there's something else I want y'all to hear.
How can you stay affectionate with your husband, even if you're offended, or you're disappointed, or you're hurt, or it's just gotten on your nerves? It's because you decide to have a revelation of who he is beyond what he did. You decide to have a revelation that he's your king. You decide to have a revelation that he is the blessing that you prayed for. You decide to have a revelation of how good that man is. Because when he falls short, and he will, because you will, because we're in a fallen world, your attention is not on what he did, but your attention on who he is. And when you have a revelation of who he is as that king, you're able to come alongside of him as his queen and make sure who he is never diminished in your eyes.
Now, this is very key, ladies, because the first young lady has the attitude and she has the right idea about being submissive. But what happens when you submit and you end up getting disappointed? See, this is something that a lot of people don't want to talk about. What happens when you submit and that man makes a mistake, or that man is not fully in his kingship, but you can look and see that this man is still a quality man with potential? What do you do, ladies? What do you do? You have that personal revelation, understanding that that is the man that you prayed for, and that you could really win this man over, as the Bible say, through chaste conversation, through your humility, through your willingness to forgive, through your love, through your care. You can actually walk alongside that man and help him to grow and build as well. And he could become that man. But it's going to take you actually seeing him for who he is. Now, I'm a firm believer that a woman knows when she's in the presence of a good man. I'm a firm believer of that. And I also believe that a lot of women choose the wrong type of men. They do that on purpose because some of them just not willing to change. Some of these women want to stay in their old ways. And that good man is going to require her to get out her comfort zone. There's a lot of women out there not ready for that. Some would say, like Super Warrior in the chat says, some would say they have no discernment. I believe that women have a very, very good discernment when it comes to the person they choose. But a lot of these women think it's exciting to choose a bad guy. They're looking at these guys as science experiments that they can somehow warp and distort and change to fit their narrative. That's not how this works. You have to be willing to submit, and you have to be willing to be agreeable, helpful, loving, forgiving, and or at least seeing where a man is at. Not telling you ladies to put up with nonsense, not telling y'all to put up with abuse, not telling you to put up with a man who's dishonest, none of that. Some of you ladies, you got to learn how to communicate better. You meet a man, he's dishonest. What do? You really like this guy, but he's dishonest. You know what you got to do? You got to sit down and talk to him. Let that man know, you can be honest with me. I have good conflict resolution skills. I don't know about the ladies that you dealt with before, but I'm not going to crash out. I'm not going to act out of character. I'm not going to be a certain way. Look, men need talks like that coming from women, because y'all be surprised how many crazy ass women are out here who don't know how to deal with conflict. And you wonder why some men really be closed off and blocked in. Ladies, you're not the only ones who need healing. Now, I want you to hear what this lady has to say again, because this is very key.
How can you stay affectionate with your husband, even if you're offended, or you're disappointed, or you're hurt?
I'm going to bring this video clip up because we got to break this down. We got to break this down. One moment. Because this is some important things you got to know, ladies. If you really want to have a good man, right? Hold on.
How can you stay affectionate with your husband, even if you're offended, or you're disappointed, or you're hurt, or it's just gotten on your nerves?
How do you stay affectionate? See, ladies, this is something that you got to understand. Once you decide that you want to be a man's significant other, your duty is to please that man, even when you're upset. You are not to use sex as a weapon. You are not to deny that man his what's due to him. Your body no longer belongs to you. That's your husband. That's your man. Your body belongs to him. So now you have to really understand that you cannot manipulate out here no more. You've already made that decision that that's your man. Whether you wrong, whether he done made you upset, whatever, doesn't matter. You're gonna have to learn how to put that to the side. This is how relationships stay together. But you've been taught in this society that it's okay to use your body against this man. I know, ladies, some of y'all not ready to hear what I'm talking about. Y'all not ready to hear this, and a lot of you all are not willing to do these things that I'm discussing. But I know that some of y'all out there, y'all understanding, and this is going to be beneficial to your life if you just take heed. Anyway, let's continue.
It's because you decide to have a revelation of who he is beyond what he did. You
decided to have a revelation beyond what he did, but you're focusing on who he is. You ladies know when a man is a good man. You know how to judge a man by his fruits. You know how to tell that you're dealing with somebody of good standards and good morals, and separate that from mistakes, because you're going to make them. He may make them too. Now, when you don't forgive, when you don't know how to see a man for who he is, what end up happening is something very cancerous. Hate starts to spread, resentment. And now it's a plague, and it takes over a lot of ladies' lives where they had these high hopes, but they never had that personal revelation that they were ready to be wives. They were looking for the fairy tale. They were looking for a lie. And they bought into it so much that when a good man of stature, of substance, may have fell short of the glory or your expectations in some way, you kept going to the streets. You kept going, casual dating with anger in your heart. And then a lot of the times, more often than not, that man end up finding him a good woman. I said that man end up finding a good woman, and you end up missing your blessing because how you cut him off or how callous you were when he made a mistake. I'm telling you, this is what you ladies need to know if you want to have a good man. I'm just keeping it a buck. Let's go.
To have a revelation that he's your king. You decide to have a revelation that he is the blessing that you prayed for. You decide to have a revelation of how good that man is. Because when he falls short, and he will, because you will, because we're in a fallen world, your attention is not on what he did, your attention on who he is. And when you have a revelation of who he is as that king, you're able to come alongside of him as his queen and make sure who he is never diminished in your eyes.
That's right. And that's how you keep the love alive. Proverbs 19 and 14 says, house and riches are the inheritance of fathers, and a prudent wife is from the Lord. Philippians 2 and 4. Fulfill ye my joy, that ye be like-minded, having the same love, being of one accord and one mind. Ladies, you got to learn submission. You got to learn how to truly, truly have a personal revelation that you are ready for marriage, that you are ready to serve, that you are ready to bear children, that you are ready to leave the world behind, because a lot of you all may not want to admit this, but it's really getting cold and lonely out there. Now, I don't expect a whole lot of views on this video. I don't expect that at all. But nonetheless, this was put on my heart to discuss. And what I'm hoping is that you ladies can let me know in the comment section what you think about this particular material. You know, let me know, because as some of you all know, this is a man's channel. This is a men's empowerment channel. But every now and then I got a message that I want to, bring forth to you ladies, but I try to keep my channel what it is. But if y'all want more videos like this, then all y'all got to do is communicate and let me know down in the comment section of this video, right? If it's helpful. And I'm definitely trying a different method here, showing you what it is out of nothing but humility. More often than not, I'm going in. But in this video, I generally have my concerns for the future. And I just wanted this message to be out there. But nonetheless, man, I'm thankful that y'all tuned in. If y'all want to stick around, turn those notifications on. I'm going to be coming back with another live stream. And this live stream is about to be something epic. And I don't even know if it's going to be able to stay on YouTube. So come back, tap back in. We're going to be talking more about Brian Thompson, who was assassinated in New York. But we're going to go in, right? We're going to really go in. And it may not even stay on this platform. So, look, check me out. Stay tuned. More material coming. Shalom. Peace.